robberies. You already know. Let's just got some life over here, man. Good life back. Jay in the building. Man, it's great.
First and foremost, this is my brother. Shout out for my brother Benedict Guerrier. So proud of you, King. So proud of you, King.
I was washing the floors when you came in here.
Washing the floors. Now, this brother's come such a long way. I've known him now several years and just watched him grow this business. I watched him call me when he had a Friday night hood party and somebody got shot outside. He's like, bro, I'm about to give it up. I can't do it. I said, stick in there, man. And just, watching us persevere, because as entrepreneurs, there's gonna be valleys and peaks. Many of us give up on our dreams, give up on our vision. We cut it off early, but you got to walk by faith, not by sight.
That's right.
The ancient Greek philosopher Jay-Z said, I had to get off the boat if I'm going to walk on water. How can you go be great and work a miracle if your ass is scared to get off the boat? And so I'm not going to be long here because I could teach for days. I'm not going to do that because I have someone I'm inspired to see speak and teach and present something for us tonight. My sister Yandy Smith up there, boss queen. Yeah. So before I say what I say, and I want to shout out Yandy Harris Smith, right? Smith-Harris, excuse me. Pardon me, man, DC, my bad, King. My bad, King. I want to shout out Queen because yesterday, this black woman, this queen, this boss queen, was in Saraland, Alabama, on the front line with my queen, Ernestine Johnson, with Tamika Mallory, with Shakezia Clemens, the queen we all seen a viral video who was molested and assaulted on a Waffle House floor by 2 race officers. But this woman could be doing so much other things with her time, with her treasure, with her talents and energy. And not only did she go to Saraland, Alabama on the front line. Who the hell heard of Saraland, Alabama anyway? With the KKK lurking. She had every excuse to back out, to bow out. And so this is an example not only for my boss queens in here, but for my kings in here. When the last time you stood on the front line defending our people? Boss king. Think about it. I could answer that question. But look yourself in the mirror and say, I'm a black man in America. I'm an African man in America. I benefit from all these spoils of all those who sacrificed on the front line for me. But when the last time you, black man, stood out on the front line for our people? But what you did is you stood on Instagram and talked about why we boycotting anyway, with your thumbs. While our women went out there and sweated and risked their lives and their freedom for us. When I walked down, King said fair exchange, no robbery. See, there's a fair exchange, no robbery with us and our ancestors. They fought and died, risked their lives and freedom. Malcolm's children grew up without a dad. Martin's children grew up without a dad. As a sacrifice so we can sit here in a black-owned establishment and benefit off the spoils of their sacrifice. So the days are over, in my opinion, under my watch, that we still talk about we are standing on the shoulders of our ancestors. Our ancestors are tired.
That's right.
It's time we put them on our back and we walk forward. We so busy standing on them, we ain't moved nowhere yet.
Let's work.
Hold on.
Outwork the work.
Fool. So, I stand here before you as the CEO and founder of the Jay Morrison Academy, co-founder of Easy Business Funding, former NBC celebrity realtor, NBC's Good Morning America, NBC's Today Show real estate expert, the first African man in America hired by prominent property Sotheby's International Realty, the world's leading luxury real estate company. As the CEO and founder of the Tulsa Real Estate Fund, the first 100% black owned and operated, SEC regulated, Regulation A, Tier 2 crowd fund in this country. The first company to offer public shares to the public for the intentional purpose of redeveloping and revitalizing our community. The first one to do it since 1919 with Marcus Garvey. 99 years ago. Well, I don't say it for applause or kicks. Why I say it is because I also stand here representing a 25-year-old Jay Morrison, who they call Maine, who walked away from the corner of 10th and Springfield in North New Jersey, supplying our block with dope, who broke his trap phone, walked into the real estate industry to accomplish these things. What's up? I stand here before you as the 3-time felon Jay Morrison, who faced 3 years of life in prison at 18 years old for drug trafficking in New York, who served prison time on Rikers Island, C-74, Mod 3 Upper, who served prison time in upstate New York, who served prison time in Annandale, New Jersey, who faced 15 years in Maryland for drug trafficking, who served prison time at Eastern Correctional Institution. I stand here as the high school dropout Jay Morrison. I stand here before you as a non-college educated black man who owns his own school. The point of what I'm saying is, if we want to be great, we want black excellence, we want to work miracles, for us to come back, and I know everyone here is not of African descent, and so this message is for all the human family to support our efforts as those of African descent. Our human family, we need your help. Because our community has been, as Malcolm X put it, politically oppressed, economically exploited, and socially degraded. For 450 years, every year on year. We've been in last place in the wealth column for over 450 years, every year on year. We've never been nowhere but the bottom. The great corners, we got nowhere else to go but the top. But these things are only going to happen by us believing in opportunity, believing in our greatness, believing in what my queen Ernestine Johnson calls the possibility of possibilities. I remember when I left the streets, left the corner, was applying for a real estate license, purchased my first multifamily at 25 years old, my first single family at 25 years old, my next multifamily at 25 years old, 3 properties at 25, 6 by 26, 7 by 26, or more than that by 27. It sounds like you gonna let me hold some. For you, Ben, anytime. But what I'm saying is, in order for us to achieve our greatness, we gotta believe in that possibility of possibilities. We gotta believe in what we can do. I remember everyone said, Jay, you can't do real estate with felonies. They said, Jay, you can't do real estate with felonies. I have 3 of them in 3 different states. But I became Mr. Real Estate. Earlier this year, retired Mr. Real Estate to be Mr. Mogul, to not only do real estate or be a realtor or be a loan officer or be a mortgage branch manager or be a celebrity realtor, but to be the CEO of what we hope to be a $50 million real estate fund, the Tulsa Real Estate Fund. The possibility of possibilities. So, I want to close with this. I want to tell you about Tulsa. So what Tulsa is, June 1st, we're having our IPO. That's initial public offering. Several years ago, I had no idea what the hell that was. Now we're having one. The initial public offering is we are offering 1 million shares of our company to the general public at $50 per share. To participate, to be an investor, a shareholder, an equity partner, you must invest in at least 10 shares, $500. To be a partner, not a GoFundMe, not a donation, not a collection plate. Where's that gotten us thus far? So I'm offering and asking you, if you like to invest passively, that means hands off, do what you do best, but own equity in a diverse real estate portfolio where we offer our investors an 8% preferred return. That means before we split any profits, you get 8%. As the crowd, we get 8% because I'm investing in my own fund.
That's right.
My commitment June 1st is $10,000, 200 shares. I ask those who have that kind of bag to match me. And if somebody want to go a little heavier than that, what's up? So June 1st, outside of your 8% preferred return, we are splitting the profits 50-50 with our crowd. So as the fund managers, we get a 5.5% fund management fee, fair exchange, low robbery. We got to operate business. But before we see any profits, you get your 8% preferred return, more than our 5.5%. More than where your money's sitting right now in that savings account, in that CD, in that 401k, in that pension, in that IRA, in that shoebox, in that safety deposit box, or in them Jordans, Gucci bags, and that belt you got on. So we're offering you the opportunity to be a part of the Tulsa Fund. We're launching on June 1st specifically because June 1st is the anniversary, the 99th anniversary, the 98-year anniversary of the Tulsa, Oklahoma Black Wall Street bombing and massacre.
Talk about it.
I know our schools didn't tell us about it because they gave us a school education based on a European perspective.
Yeah.
But if you didn't know, the first bomb that was dropped on American soil was on a small town, 36 square blocks of homes and businesses, all black owned, called Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Over 2,000 homes and businesses, airplanes, buses, movie theaters, hospitals, churches, insurance companies, tailors, banks. We owned it all. The black dollar circulated for a week before it left that community. And so I have a plan, a good plan, that when we launch this fund, we will resurrect the first Black Wall Street, the 21st century Black Wall Street. You will see it, you will visualize it, you will be able to visit it and experience it here in this country and be an owner in it. You will be able to realize Black Wall Street in your lifetime, ride by with your children for as little as $500 and say, baby, we own that.
That's right.
The hotels that we buy, the warehouses, the agriculture, the farmland that we buy, for as little as $500, you can say, baby, we own that hotel. Let's have a lunch meeting at my hotel. This is ownership. Owner be owned. So I'll present with you all the opportunity June 1st during our IPO. The way you register is you open your free investors account today at Tulsa, Tulsa, realestatefund.com. That's TulsaRealEstateFund.com. You open your account. We'll notify you 24 hours before on June 1st of doing your self-accreditation online. It's an easy process. You hook up your ACH, your wire, or your check, and you fund what you can afford or desire to fund in an economic vehicle for our community revitalization. And let's all partner together and do something historic together. Let's go walk on water.
That's right.
I've also passed around a few flyers for you, and I'm done. We have a business called Easy Funding. We fund small business, small real estate investors, small business owners, whether you are starting a business or already have a business looking for working capital, more money for bills, for operations, for marketing. We will fund your business, and we're giving you 50% off our funding. It's not just funding, because we'll educate you on how business funding works, so you're not being preyed on through predatory loans. You'll be knowledgeable how loans work, which you'll learn some more about tonight from my sister as well. So through our Easy Funding, it's a $500 program that will fund your business up to $250,000 the first year. No collateral needed, no security needed, no employment verification needed, no bank statements needed, no tax returns needed. All we need is you to participate, and we'll work on your credit profile, your business credit profile, and fund your business up to $250,000. Our best case, our best case study, one of my students in Atlanta got funded $131,000 in 3 days. $131,000 in 3 days off an LLC they started 3 weeks prior. Facts only. So if you want to fund your own business, we have Easy Funding. Use easyfunding.com. If you want to invest with us passively and diversify your portfolio, TulsaRealEstateFund.com. I ask you to join me and join us in this economic revolution. Thank you.
Another round of applause for Mr. Morrison. I want to give a special shout out to my team for sticking with me. I know I'm hard to deal with. Never answer the phone, but I want to let you guys know openly that I appreciate you guys. Weekly, I do real estate tours. So if anybody's interested in buying, fixing, and flipping and want to know what the process looks like, and not just from a YouTube perspective or a book perspective and hands-on, you can contact my team. We'll give you the information at the end. Please, everybody sign in the sign-in sheet so you can be part of the newsletter that Jessica so beautifully makes every week, so we can let you know what's going on. Ms. Yandy, are you ready? She's ready. Come on down, the lady of the hour. Happy Mother's Day, too, to all the mothers in the house. Everybody having a good time? Yes, sir. Nice. I know it's a little hot. Bear with us. You know we colorfuls. Anytime. I do this for love. Love you back.
1, 2, clear the stairs, please. Clear the stairs. Yandy Smith, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give a warm applause. We're empowering women tonight, baby. Let's go. That's right.
I want to, can we connect this laptop to these?
Yes, right now.
Perfect.
Right behind those two young ladies' heads is the HDMI.
Okay, perfect.
I got you.
How y'all feeling? We finally getting some hot weather, right? Hello, how you doing? I see some familiar faces in here. I'm excited. So this is something that has become very dear to my heart. Just like my brother Jay Morrison said, and I definitely want to throw it back to him, that is a powerful brother. I hope you guys are here taking notes. Trust me, just touching the hem of his cloak can get you guys some money, okay? He failed to mention that he is a millionaire several times over, okay? So those are definitely the rooms and the people you want to be in. You are in the right room if you want to get money. You are in the right room if you want to have financial freedom. You are in the right room if you want to have political freedom. Because really, what all this is about is so that we can make our own decisions for ourselves. The unfortunate thing is we can't because we have no financial power. So it's time for us now to mobilize, to get together, pull our money together, and really hit the ground running so that we can, again, have a president that looks like us, but that can really do things that we need to get done. Not that they're just a figurehead, no, and I love Obama, but it was hard for him to make decisions. It was hard. Somebody like Trump can say, I want the whole FBI to do this because he has the financial backing to do it. He's not dependent upon sponsors. He's not dependent upon funding. We need that power. We need for our agendas to be pushed on these Senate floors. We need the Congress to be talking about us. But the only way these things will ever happen, the only way our voices will really truly be important to the masses is when we start to have financial power. So I'm going to go through a lesson for you. And this is not quite the workshop function we're normally used to, but I think I like this a little better because it's kind of crunk in here.
That's every Monday too.
Yeah, it's kind of crunk in here. And I love how close we are. But I really want you guys to take notes and listen because we got to start from the basics, right? We want to have homes. We want to have our dream cars. We want to have financial freedom. We want to have purchasing power in the communities we live in. But the only way that happens is if we start from the very beginning. And the very beginning means getting our homes right. Once we get our homes right financially, then we can start to get our neighborhoods right. Once we get our neighborhoods right, we can get our communities powerful. Once our communities are powerful, that is when we have power in numbers to go out there and fight for the things we need. Are we ready?
No, but I'll take it.
I'll work over.
Okay.
I'll work on it while you start.
Okay.
Then I'll
Hello, everyone. Can I get Jay to come to the forefront real quick?
And this is my sister, Nakia, right here. Give her a round of applause. She's going to give you guys a little bit of background about who she is, but another powerful woman. Powerful. Was a single mom for a very long time, became an entrepreneur, and really, let me tell you something. I was like, I need her in the room that I'm in. I want to be next to her. And I want to be next to women that are movers and shakers and doing some things, because just if a little bit brushes off on me, I can be just as great as her. So we got to remember that, ladies.
I'm supposed to be introducing you.
No, sorry.
But no, I want to bring Jay to the forefront real quick because you said a lot of things. You talked about your fun. You talked about your businesses. I'm an entrepreneur. And Jay, can we just talk about how credit is so important in order to do these things? Can we just talk about that real quick? Because that's what Yandy and I are here for. I got introduced to this program. So Jay, just tell the crowd how important credit is in order for them to be movers and shakers.
You know, we say that credit is king. And we say that credit is the new dollar.
Exactly.
And what we teach them, and I'm glad you're going to be teaching on credit to help them prepare them for the easy funding, right? But no, what it is that when you have your credit base, you start saving money off your credit base because now your car loans are cheaper, your mortgages are cheaper, your student loans are cheaper, right? Then you have access to additional capital that you may not have. So you got to think about how many hours do you have to work at your job to make an extra $5,000 a year. But if you just worked on your credit, you can simply leverage your credit and get an extra $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, $50,000 of what I call TBM, the bank's money. See, we've been taught for so long by grandma that, hey, credit card's bad, and credit cards don't have credit alone. But those are poor people habits. But all the wealthy we know are leveraging their credit in order to acquire more things, because now they're not leveraging their assets. God forbid the deal go bad, guess what? They walk away. Their credit get banged up, they restore it, repair it, and do it again.
Okay, Jay, you had your moment. You can go.
All right. She should have gave me the mic.
So let me just tell you a little bit about myself. I'm Nakia. Yandy, like she said, she's my sister. I'm here. I'm showing up. She introduced me to this business. And not that I need the business. I mean, I am a successful entrepreneur. Again, I was a single mom until I met my husband, had 2 additional children, you know, was living the white picket fence life that we're told to live, right? You work, you save up, you buy a house. But unfortunately, my last son was born prematurely. He was 2 pounds, 6 ounces. 4 months in the NICU, 2 months in rehabilitation. So when that happened, I had to leave my corporate job because my son had these special needs. And in doing that, my house went into foreclosure, right? And so I was panicking, I was stressed. And then I realized that I can't live like this. I can't live where I'm stressed out. So once I got into real estate, I learned the tools and the tricks. So one of the things, I don't know if Jay ever mentioned this to you guys during a Monday sort of meeting, but there's an opportunity where you can actually short the mortgage. And so I did that. And because I did that, my credit was affected by it. So when I got introduced to FBS through Yandy, I was all over it. I was like, yes, 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 I need this, I need this. And since I've been doing it, it's only been about 6 weeks now that I've been in the program, been making money every Thursday, and my credit has already gone up by 51 points. So I truly, truly believe in this program. I wouldn't be standing here in front of all of y'all being as transparent. So since I'm being transparent with everyone in the room, can I ask all of y'all to be transparent? How many of us need to work on our credit? That's like half the room. So please pay attention to Yandy. I know we all love Yandy, but she's here for a reason. And you can get involved in this program, and when you become involved, you become a partner of mine, you become a partner of Yandy, and like she showed up today, she'll continuously show up. So please give her your undivided attention. And I'll chime in every once in a while.
I'm back. I wanted to make sure I edified my sister. That's something that we need to make sure we do. When we see someone and we know someone that's doing some positive things, give them the credit when it's due. She's not going to be standing up here just doing the work. She's powerful. And I wanted to make sure you guys knew that because she's an amazing woman. So I wanted to talk to you about something that came kind of, I didn't even know that I needed it. And it's been something that has changed my life. So randomly, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a story. I'm a good storyteller, so I'll just walk with me through this. I was at the airport, and Ray J's manager, her name is Morgan, she came up to me and said, Yandy, I have a business opportunity for you. At the time, I was not looking for a business opportunity at 6 a.m. in the morning, and whenever someone comes up to me like, you can make a bunch of money, it's awesome, and you're so excited, I'm already like, flat tummy tea, total life change, which company is this? So I was like, Morgan, here's my manager's information, call her, and we can regroup some other time. I didn't want to be rude, but it was 6 o'clock in the morning. So she's like, okay, now move forward. 2018, January, I decided that I wanted to do this huge workshop with women, 100 powerful women across New York City. Not even across only New York City, across pretty much the tri-state area, and I wanted to invite them to a weekend seminar in Atlanta where we were going to have these powerful lawyers, entertainers, doctors, women in the political space get around and talk about finances. We were going to be influencers in the room that were going to learn all we needed to learn about financial freedom, what it takes to have great credit, what it takes to have high credit scores so you have low interest rates, really giving a wealth of information to these powerful women so that in turn, they could go back into their communities and their people of influence and talk about this. We thought that it was important, again, so that we can have financial power. So first, we sent out the first round of invites. We want to invite you to this amazing weekend, all expenses paid, in Atlanta. Just get yourself there, and you're going to be able to stay for the weekend, right? Everyone was excited about it, ready to go. Then we decided that we wanted each of the women, each of the 100 women that were going to be there. Remember, I said doctors, lawyers, entertainers. You would think by title, they got money, right? So these are women that were our personal friends that we were inviting. We decided to tell them, at the end of this, we want you all to donate $1,000 to a fund that we were going to use to invest in a black and brown entrepreneur coming up behind us, right? We can't talk about financial freedom and not be willing to invest. So when we sent out that email to a couple of our friends, like, what do you guys think? That's when all the excuses started to come in. That's when it was, well, you know, that weekend might be tough for me. Well, you know, if I can be transparent, I'm still paying off my college expenses, and you know, I just bought this house. Every excuse you can think of from these successful by title people, we heard them as to why they could not turn around and reach back and help a young entrepreneur coming up. So that's when we realized it was a different problem. So we decided to do something different. Instead of that weekend with 100 influential women, we decided that we wanted to go into the communities and teach everybody, not just influential, high-titled positioned people, but everybody, inner-city communities, affluent communities, the importance of financial freedom, especially amongst Black, brown, Latino people. Because see, with us, most of us, we were born not with trust funds. Anybody in the room born with a trust fund? I wasn't. Let me put my hand down. No. Anybody born left a house from the will? Sometimes it's a one or two. I don't see anyone. Okay. Anyone left with a sum of money about $500,000 or more from dad or mom? How many of you were born with cable bills in your name? Doctor bills in your name? How many of you were victims of identity theft by a family member, sometimes mom or dad, cousin, uncle, aunt, caretaker, friend? Okay, so more hands go up when we start talking about debt in our name. So in our communities, what we've been taught to do, pass the debt on to our children. Put that cable bill in her name. Put that car note in my mama's name. Put that car note in my baby's name. Put that car note in my girl's name. No. That is where we go wrong. That is why so many of us are still struggling, because not only were we born into debt, but we weren't taught the proper way to do things. How many of us in the room now, and this is, again, like I said, this is not my normal workshop setting, so what I need from you guys is honesty, because I want you guys to see what's really in this room. So don't look at her bag or her shoes and don't think that, everybody in this room think we got it all together. I don't have it all together. And I joined this company because I didn't have it all together. So let's just be real for a minute. How many of you in this room have a will set up for your children? Now, the ones that have wills set up for their children, how many of them, if you're an agent with this company, don't raise your hand. How many people have wills set up for their children or a trust fund? If you're not Jay Morrison, don't raise your hand. This is a problem. Prince, you guys know Prince? Prince fans in the house? Me too, love him. Prince died without a will. So guess what? All those cars, those purple mansions, and everything else he owned in the bank account that was probably huge, it will be in the court's decision for the next 10 to 18 years. Could you imagine you're passing away, walking out of here, God forbid, and your children are left not knowing what they're going to do, where they're going to live, how they're going to get their next dollar, because you didn't take the time to find out what a will is. This is basics. I'm telling you things that other nationalities are born knowing. A trust. I'm not even going to ask who has a trust fund set up for their children. These are things that other races and other nationalities are born knowing to do. They have their family attorneys set it up and it's done. Let me ask another question. How many of you in this room know what a power of attorney is? Medical or financial? Great. How many of you have a medical power of attorney set up? Not even half. Again, God forbid you are unable to speak over your life. When you walk out of this room, who do you trust to have decision power, whether they say you're going to stay on life support or you're going to be taken off life support? Some of you are married and you don't trust your wife or your husband to do that because you ain't even with them no more. Do you want to leave that or your son's mother or your son's father? Or even some of you might not speak to mom and dad, but they might be your next of kin to make that decision for you. Do you want to put your life in the hands of the unknown? These are some things for you to start thinking about. If you don't know what a medical power of attorney is, look it up. Financial power of attorney. When my husband got caught up in a very unfortunate situation, we paid $1,500 with our lawyer that we already have on retainer to do a financial power of attorney, so that I can have access to write bills from his bank account, so that I can change locks if I want to in his crib. But these are the things, God forbid something happens. We all make mistakes and sometimes get ourselves caught up in unfortunate situations. Anybody been in an unfortunate situation before? I have. It happens. Who do you want to be able to say what happens to that Citibank account? What happens to that Chase account? What happens to your house mortgage that needs to be paid when you can no longer pay it? Do you lose your house? Do you lose your apartment? Or do you have someone assigned that can cover these things for you? These are the things that we are not born thinking about, but we often find ourselves in these horrible situations without a place to go. So when I got introduced to this company originally, it was 6 a.m. in the morning, I wasn't in the mood. But fast forward, because of the way God works, my husband called me one day and said, hey, Yandy, before I come home, I want to make sure my credit is right. So I started calling around. He might have even called Jay Morrison about this. We started calling around. And pretty much to restore credit, we were getting anywhere between $2,500, $500 per negative item. I see a lot of you shaking your heads because that's pretty much the rate you found. That was kind of the going rate that I was finding for him. And he was like, all right, well, let me just go ahead and pay that. I'm very thrifty. I said $2,500 is too much. So let me just talk to a few more people. I told my manager and I said, listen, Toya, my husband wants to get his credit fixed. And she's like, oh, well, I want to get my credit restored too because we want to buy a bigger house. And she said, my credit score is really low. I don't want these high interest rates. Let me tell you about interest rates. Some of y'all walking around here with a $500 credit score in a Louis bag. You cannot do anything with a 500 credit score. You can't. You can't buy a car. You can't buy a house. You can't get a rental. You can't do anything. You're going to have to put something in somebody else's name. You can't do anything. So she lives in a house already in her husband's name. She wanted to get a house in her name, in their name, with great credit, with low interest. So what did she do? She wanted to get her credit fixed. So what did we have to do? I'm like, all right, so since my husband needs it, you need it, we gonna get a discount because it's 2 for 1 here. So I started calling around now to other people and I'm like, look, I got 2 people. Can I get it for $2,000? Can I get it for $2,000? $1,500? What we gonna do? So finally, right around the time I was getting my hookup to tell me $2,000 is gonna work, this girl Morgan from a couple months ago texts Toya and says, hey, I met Yandy in the airport. Do you or her have less than perfect credit? What is the likelihood, as I'm hustling and bustling, trying to get this, is just all I can say was God. So Toya's like, yeah, somebody just texted me about this credit stuff. Maybe we should call her and see what her rates are like. So we get on the phone and we start talking, right? We start talking and she's like, yes, I can absolutely help your husband get that repossession off his credit report. Oh, you got a bankruptcy? I can absolutely help you get that bankruptcy off your credit report. But let me tell you about all the other things we do. Then that's when she started asking the questions. Do you have a will, Yandy? I'm like, no. I'm calling you for my husband, Morgan, now. He's the one that needs you. I don't need you. Okay. You don't have a will, though. I'm like, I'm not dying no time soon. Then she started to ask me some of the same questions I asked you. Then she said, let me ask. You making some money? Have you been investing? Yeah, I'm invested in this. I got this account for Amir and Skylar. So when you die, who's going to be able to find that TIA credit account? Who's going to know about that Chase account? Who's going to know about that overseas account? Who's going to know about these accounts? And I was like, well, I never told anybody. I didn't want everybody in my business. So if you die, how are your children going to get to the money? I had no answer for that. So then she said, so what's your credit score? And I was proud. My credit score is a 760, one of them, another one, 723, another. Did you know that now they go up to 900? I was like, what? And I'm thinking I'm doing good. Now I'm like, okay, Morgan, maybe I do need this service. So she started to ask me all of these questions that I didn't like how I was answering them. And not just for me and my well-being, but for the well-being of my seeds. And their lives mean way more to me than mine. And that's when I realized I wasn't set up the way I thought I was doing good. I thought I got a bank account, I got trust fund, I got a savings account, not a trust fund, I just lied. Savings accounts, and I had college investments accounts for them. But even in that, I wasn't secured in making sure if I passed today, they would get any of that money. Because no one would even know where to find it. So I'm saying, but Morgan, so what are you telling me? How can you help me with this? And she said, well, one of the services, not only credit restoration and a will and a trust, power of attorney that we offer, but we also have a financial lockbox. In this financial lockbox, every important document from your savings accounts, your trust fund accounts, your different investments accounts, your mutual fund account can be saved in this one space online and no one can access it but you. That's important. We don't think about that because any of us think that we're going to die tomorrow. But it's important to start thinking for the future for your children. I'm going to now let Nakia start to explain to you what FBS is all about. And this is the company that Morgan started to tell me about. And then I'm going to get to the fun part. And the fun part is really juicy because I can tell you how you can make a whole lot of money doing exactly what I'm doing right now and being a part of this organization.
I like the sound of a lot of money.
You got to turn your mic on and say that one more time. One more again.
I like the sound of money.
Exactly. But before you can make money, you need to get your household in order. And I'm going to tell you how to get your household in order first, and then that's when the money comes. And that's when you can really start matching this $500 that Jay needs. Some of y'all got $500 bags in here, $2,000 bags, so just going to sell that bag and invest tomorrow. But to the others of you that need a little more time, start getting that credit score up. Start working on building your credit so that you can start to create generational wealth. And then eventually power in the financial department. Let me give you this mic.
When your credit get right, that's when you invest with me to go ahead and rebuild your communities. I'm hands-on as far as buying, fixing, and flipping. We've done 91 houses in 9 years in Newark, New Jersey.
Nice.
You have done that with mom and credit?
No.
No.
Unless you have
Are you
cash.
using your own cash in the bank to buy places?
Nope. Bank money. Absolutely.
And mom, the bank will not even look at you walk in with bad credit. Let me tell you a real quick story, then I'm done. I can talk about what I'm going to stop. So I've been a part of this company, right? And while I was in this company, I started getting my credit up. You know, I thought 760, 720, 790. I thought that was great. But now I'm in the 800s, and I went to go. I have to turn my Cadillac in for the lease. I was leaving the gym, and I'm like, I got to turn my Cadillac in a couple days. Let me go to the range dealer. I always wanted a range. Let me just see what's up. So I went to the range dealer, and I walked in with my sweats, my sneakers, and they looked me up and down and kept on doing what they were doing. So I, hi, someone here to help me? So finally the reception was like, oh, okay, I didn't know you were looking for help. Why would I be walking in here? So she goes, okay, I'm gonna get a salesman to help you. I waited for 45 minutes. While I was there were people coming in and out that were getting help. 45 minutes, I had my babies with me, it was hot. I was like, okay, fine. No, actually it was freezing, it was cold. I remember it was a weather issue, it was cold. So I'm waiting. So finally, someone comes to help me, and he's like, I didn't even look at a car yet. He didn't even ask me what I'm looking for. He says, hey, let's fill out some paperwork. If you're interested in a car today, let's fill out some paperwork because we need to see, where your credit is before we even have a conversation. I've never been to a dealership and been treated like that. I didn't even think that was, you didn't show me not a named card and you asked me what my money is like. But I said, no problem. Where's the paperwork? Filled out the paperwork, right? Because now I want to make a point.
filled out the paperwork. While I filled out the paperwork and he took it to his finance person, we looked at cars. I said, I like this one. This all black on black, Black Wheels House, large supercharger edition. I like that one. Okay. All right, well, I'm just going to wait for my guy. I'm like, open the door. I want to sit in it. Turn the engine on. Now I'm going to make him work for it. Turn the engine on. Let me hear how that engine sound. All of that, right? Went back downstairs, went to his office. He's like, would you like a bottle of water? Can I offer you anything to eat? That day, and then what he asked me is, do you want to leave? He said, okay, you like that card? These are the numbers. Do you want to leave any money down today? And I'm like, I got an option? That's right. Because of how high my credit score was, I was able to drive off the lot, and I had to make a point, so I didn't really have to get it that day. I had like another 5 days before I turned my car. I drove off the Range dealership with no money down with that Range I said I wanted. Simply because I was able to get my credit score where it needed to be, and then also, and if you guys know anything about cars, Rangers and Cadillacs should not be about the same price. But my interest rate on my Cadillac was so much higher than my interest rate on my Range that the prices were kind of comparable. Interest rates. Some of you might be walking out with a Mercedes-Benz that you think cost you $40,000 and it's costing you $59,000. Walking out with a Honda Accord and you're paying for a Mercedes because your credit score is low and your interest rates are high. I'm going to pass the mic to Nakia.
I got a mic.
Talk.
But how many times has that happened to so many of us?
Yep.
So I guess that's why we're going to kind of jump into why FES. And FES is the Financial Education Services. And like Yandy said, she started EGL Win, and collectively we have a team. And I mean, that team is fully supported. We have a group text, we have these powwow calls, we even have Midnight Madness calls. So it's definitely a wonderful program. So why FES? Let's think about it. We already said we have less than perfect credit, right? Hand raised again real quick on that one. Have debt and no idea how to pay it off. Don't have their personal, we don't either have our personal or our financial affairs in order, or we dislike our current job. How many of us in here can raise our hand to that? All right, next slide.
Wait. So y'all wake up on Monday morning like, yes, I'm going to work today. That's how y'all wake up and go to work? How many of you love Monday morning to go to work? Not many. So now, like she said, how many of you hate and are looking for other job opportunities and career opportunities, entrepreneurship opportunities? Okay. Can I get a round of applause for that?
Wait, the people that raised their hands that said that they like waking up on Mondays, is it because you work for yourself? Yeah. That's why. Totally different. I work for myself. I dragged in here. All right, next slide, Ian. Okay, skip that one. We do this a lot. We just skip slides. Okay, Financial Education Services. Financial Education Services has been around since 2004, and I know we are not on that slide yet, but the owners are still the owners. How many of us come into these big corporations and they're either bought out by some other big company? I think right now Time Warner is being acquired by AT&T. This company has been around since 2004. Headquarters are in Farmington Hills, Michigan, has an A+ rating on the Better Business Bureau, over 100% in annual sales growth. Debt-free and the same key executives since the company's inception. I know Alfred and Morgan introduced you to the program. Alfred is 26 years old. My oldest son is 23. Alfred is a millionaire. I keep telling my son, like, you're playing games. I know you moved out, but it's time for you to join this program. There's a few key things. I know Yandy had mentioned a few of the services like the Will, LifeLock, but there are so many other services that we offer. Can we just kind of go over those services real quick, Yandy? Because we don't want to hold y'all here too long, because we know that we want to get to the meat and potatoes of everything. So I just want to talk a little bit about their services. You want me to talk about the credit restoration? Because that's really important. So go back one slide. So we have this protection plan membership. And so there are two ways that you can be a part of this program. One is as an agent, which Yandy and I are. And if you don't want the protection program, meaning that you don't want to restore your credit, you can just sign up for the protection program. I'm a part of the protection program because it works for me. Like I said, I shorted my mortgage, and because I did that, my credit score was hit really bad. So I am restoring my credit while I am a part of the program, which is really important to me.
So just to piggyback off of her, in credit restoration, what they do is they leverage your legal rights to investigate, dispute, and challenge negative items on your credit report. And then also any inaccurate, erroneous, or obsolete items such as late payments, collections, bankruptcies, judgments, medical bills can be deleted or updated on your credit report.
But how many of us thought that you couldn't get bankruptcies or judgments removed from your credit report?
All of that can be removed.
You actually can get that removed. They actually, and the thing is, we are not the ones restoring your credit. FES this company is doing it for you. You either can do it electronically, you can have your items mailed, and they're really on top of things. So they'll actually email you and say, hey, we're just sending out your 45-day letters, your 30-day letters. It's just really you kind of just going in your email, following up, making sure you're getting things out on a timely manner.
And this is the basics that I was telling you guys about. Credit restoration is where it all starts, for you to really start your financial path to freedom.
So I guess these are some of the other services that they have, which is the Positive Credit Builder. They have Debt Zero, which is an interactive online debt payoff system and budgeting tool. They have a credit attorney, so you feel at ease. Again, it's not us working on your credit. There's actual credit attorneys. And then there's...
And the reason why they have the credit attorney is because if for whatever reason credit bureaus decide they do not want to remove an item that should be removed, at no additional expense, you have an attorney at your beck and call that will go and fight for you to get that removed if it's supposed, and it can be removed because your name is spelled wrong, they have a middle name there and it's not you, and they got a middle initial. I got something removed because it said Yandy Smith. I've never had a V in any that's not my name, I don't have a V. So I got it removed.
And I got something removed because of my past address. So although it was a previous address, because I didn't live there anymore, they got it removed based on your address. Skip. Sorry. Well, no, the protection, I love the LifeLock. So the LifeLock, that gives you your will, your trust, your power of attorney, and your financial lockbox. It's a program developed by attorneys. It's organized, your personal and financial information, and it's easy. Okay, so let me just real quick. So you get, there's two services. There is the Fbs Protection Plan, and when you go into your Fbs Protection Plan, all of your services are right there for you on your dashboard. So you're able to access your will, you can put in your beneficiaries, you can do your financial lockbox where you can kind of put in your debt, you can put off the things that you want to pay over time. I mean, the dashboard gives you all of the tools that you need to be to kind of move forward with the program.
And even if you don't have credit, there's an opportunity here for you to get a secure credit card that can help you build your credit. If you have perfect credit, then you still may need a will, a trust, a power of attorney. So it doesn't really matter where you are as far as your credit. There are different attributes to these services that you can use. Oh, I just spoke about that.
Yeah. Skip.
Okay, so on your tables, most of you have a pamphlet, and it lists out very clearly all of the different services. Some of the other things that we didn't talk about were FBS travel. Once Morgan mentioned this on the phone, I was also sold. I travel all the time, at least once a week, and literally the flights, I travel to Atlanta almost once a week. Normally my flight to Atlanta is somewhere between $200, $300. I found flights for $138 through this company, through their travel portal. I'm an online shopper. Through their online shopping portal, you get all kind of discount codes for the stores that you love to shop at. This is truly a company that provides you solutions to live a debt-free life. Solutions to help you build your credit, solutions to help you maintain your credit, and solutions to really help you get to a place where financially you're not dependent.
But let's also talk about the price, how it's $89 per month. How many of us know about Lexington Law Firm? And the cost per month. And they do not offer any of these services other than, and how many times have you done Lexington Law Firm and it looks like something is removed, but then 6 months later, it's still there. It's still there. Yeah, it's still there. So for $89 per month. And then I know we're going to talk a little bit more about, the program, but when you become a part of the program, like Yandy and ourselves, after you, we will tell you ways on how that can actually be eliminated. So after 3 months, you literally will not have to pay $89 anymore. They got you.
And if you guys were listening when I first started and I said how I have a financial power of attorney with my husband, we paid $1,500 for that alone. Now, if you want to get a will done, that will can cost you anywhere upwards of $2,000. If you have stepchildren, if you're married, all of those different things are additional fees. So we were, again, going into these communities, telling people that they need this, that, and the third. It could have cost you $10,000 or upwards because there are all these services.
Respect the speaker on the mic, please. It's a little loud in here.
All of these services can equate to more than $10,000, but this company is offering it for $89 a month with no contract. So that means you can get your credit restored, get a power of attorney, a will, and after 3 months, if you decide, all right, I got my will, got my power of attorneys, got a trust set up, and my credit score is where I need it to be, you can disconnect service. People do that as well.
And one of the things we also forgot to mention is that you definitely get $100,000 life insurance.
Yes.
And that's with no medical test. You don't have to submit anything. And that for me was important.
Yep.
Next slide. Y'all can tell this is not our setting when we present this, right? Don't hold it against us. Okay, so they have the Youth Financial Literacy Foundation. Each protection plan donates $2 each month to the YFL. It educates youth people from the ages 8 to 18 on. It's matters of personal finance and financial literacy in schools across America. I know for me growing up, I wasn't taught financial literacy. My grandparents didn't teach me financial literacy. My daughter goes to school in Verona, and I can tell you one thing. It is completely different what we're taught. My daughter, from the time she was in kindergarten, got this scheduling book, and I never understood it. The purpose of that is that they're teaching them things that are to do. They're telling them what's important, how to write it down, and they're getting it instilled in their head. We didn't have that. I didn't have that growing up. So it's really important. I mean, I think in order for us to educate ourselves, for us to be financially free, is we need to truly understand the power of the dollar and how important credit is. I make a lot of money. I spend a lot of money. But I can do so much more when my credit is back to where it needs to be.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's true generational wealth right there.
I know. I went into my house for $30,000. I mean, and when I bought my house, I was 27. So at $30,000 for a 27-year-old, I thought that was great. But then when my son was born, my savings was depleted because I was putting money on the back end of the mortgage to catch up. And I was like, wait a second, I've done real estate, so why am I doing this? Why am I letting this mortgage company dictate? Guess what? I stopped paying. The moment I stopped paying, they didn't want my house. They was like, once making your home affordable came available, I got my interest rate at 2.1%. on a 7-bedroom, 4-bath house. And now my credit is being restored thanks to this lovely young lady. So thank you for bringing this to me. I mean, I even have my husband a part of this. I signed my daughter up under my husband. I'm just saying, we all in here know people that need to restore their credit. You yourself may need to restore your credit. So if you don't want to be a part of the program, definitely get involved because it will help you.
But this is the fun part. This is the part that I like.
Okay, well, I'm going to let you take over because I'm sweating.
This is the part where it gets really juicy because I don't want to just go into the communities and tell people, get your credit right, get your credit right, get a trust, get a power. But I want to tell you how you can also generate income. Not just income for you, but generational income that can be blessed on to your children and your children's children. And that's the kind of money that I want to make. Can I get an amen? Amen. Okay. So, you want to come work this for me?
Yes, I will work that for you.
Okay. So, yeah. All right. So, the way the business side of this
company works is, once you sign up to be a customer, you get all those services we spoke about. But if you decide that you want to be an agent, like myself and like Nakia, that is when you can start to generate income. And remember I told you it's a significant income? So, on the first level, you generate $100 per person that signs up, right? Someone signs up to be a customer to get this together, you make $100. So for tax professionals, real estate agents, you can't sell a house if someone has bad credit, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so when someone has bad credit and they come to you and they want to buy a house, what do you have to do?
I guess I'm going to refer them to you.
Yes, but before you knew me, what did you have to do? Turn them away, right?
Definitely turn them away.
And say, get your credit up, and then... So now, real estate agents or tax professionals or whomever might be in this room, you don't have to turn people away. You can tell them, okay, I'm going to give you 2 months before I sell you this house. And in the process, I'm going to work on your credit. Give me 2 months. Now, for those that are agents, let's say, how many people are in this room about?
About a good 120.
120. Somebody should get an
Inside and out.
iPhone. So if I'm making $100 per person and I times it by 120, how much is that? $12,000. That's a cute number, right?
Well, that means if I sign up, they're going to sign up under me.
Listen, wait a minute. Wait a minute now, because I'm working and I'm sweating. Okay?
We going to split them.
I got my babies out here. No, I'm joking. So listen, hold on. I'm work with me with these numbers. Listen to me, okay? So $100. If everybody in this room figured out, I want to get my credit right. Not only do we make $100 off of every person that signs up, but then when you pay your $89 for the protection plan, I make $12 off of that as well. So the first week when I signed up, Morgan's like, you know, you need this, Yandy. So I'm like, all right, let me sign up my husband. I'm going to sign up. You know, my manager was like, well, it's $89. I was getting ready to pay $2,500. I'm signing up. I had an assistant on the line that connected us, and she was like, well, I need to sign up too. So there were 3 people that were signing up that same day, the day that I signed up. Morgan says, we're going to sign them up under your network. That was a Saturday. That Thursday, I had a check in my account. I didn't even know Toya, who also that day told her husband, and my assistant, Trina, told her fiance. They signed them up. That Thursday, I had $300 in my account, plus additional money. And I was like, I don't get what that